Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Clement Consultancy educational video series. So in today's episode 23, we're going to discuss how to diagnose resale properties. Without further ado, let's dive deep in. So we want to understand the advantages of buying resale properties and also to discuss the disadvantages of owning resale properties. As usual, I'm going to throw in the case study, which is District 19, The Quartz. So this condominium, The Quartz, was completed in 2009 and total number units 625 units. Let's look at the price performance of The Quartz. Okay, the historical polymer line says that this condominium actually starts from 500 plus and move all the way to 1000 plus PSF from the period 2007 to 2022 period. So this 14 or 15 years period. Okay, let's look at the price performance of the certain stages. So the Quartz TOP in 2009, the first owner who bought this actually bought the properties around 400 to 500 PSF, and subsequently when it reached TOP, right, the prices inch up to 800 to 900 plus PSF. After 2009, when they reached TOP, right, we also saw that the prices continued to climb for 7 years, from 800 to 900 PSF up to 1000 plus PSF. And since 2016, right, we saw that the price stagnated and hovers around 1000 plus PSF. So let's look at the breakdown into details. How much does the owner bought in certain stages? Okay, for the owners who bought the Quartz in 2006 period, which is just before, which is the year the condominium was launched, they actually entered the condominium around 500, you see 463 PSF, and all these are considered new sales. You can see over here that this thing called sub-sale. Sub-sale means that this condominium actually exchanged hands before the condominium TOP. Okay, so over in new launch sectors, right, we will be able to see these sub-sales happening as well, which I will further explore this into the next few episodes. Okay, so these owners, when they buy brand new from the developer, they actually went in around 400 to 500 PSF. This one even best, around 326 PSF thereabout. Okay, so upon reaching TOP, right, we saw that there's condominium changing hands and the price actually hovered around 800 to 900 PSF, and they are actually bought by upgraders from HDB and private owners alike. Okay, as denoted over here, these are in the resale market. And how about in 2021 and 2022, we saw that the prices further inch up, crossing beyond 1000 PSF, where prices are transacted at 1002, 1229, 1276, thereabout. Okay, so these are the three different stages of the resale condominium. Let's take a look at the profit that the owners make at certain period as well. So the first owner profit, what do I mean by that? This is the owners that bought in 2006 period, okay, or 2007, 2008 period. This is the period where the developer is still launching the sales and the first owners actually bought this property. So take note here, you see they purchased the price around 500 plus PSF, 700 plus PSF, 500 PSF. So after owning for like close to 10 years, they managed to sell the condominium in the 2022 period, and they actually make very huge profit amounting to 700 plus K, $500,000, 700 plus K. Okay, so these are the first owner profit. And why is it so important to buy a condominium directly from developer? Okay, so these are the owner's profit, first owner profit that made after holding this property for a good 10 plus years. Let's look at the second owner profit. So what do I mean by second owner profit? So these are the people who bought these properties from the first owner and also sold it in 2022 period. Okay, you can see that the profit actually hovers around 200 plus K thereabout, which is around 40% of what the first owner has already made. Yeah, so does it make sense to really buy as a second owner? It really depends on your different stages of the property ownership. So there's no right or wrong, but what I would like to actually emphasize here is even buying resale properties, right, you can still have the luxury of getting this profit if you were to enter a property correctly. And all this takes certain diagnosis and statistics finding as well. So it's not just purely buying what you can afford and actually selling in the upstream market or downstream market, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to summarize a little bit the advantages of buying resale properties and why is it still so attractive to resale buyers. Because number one, it is able to stay immediately. And for people who own a second property, they prefer resale properties where they can collect rental immediately. And usually for resale properties, right, they are actually good built-in sizes. What do I mean by that? A similar quantum of $1 million with a lower PSF of 1,000 plus means that the unit has a bigger size compared to the current new launches where it's the similar quantum at 1 million, but because of a higher PSF, the built-in size gets smaller. All right, and of course, definitely this is what I said just now. The PSF is much more lower than new launch. So these are the advantages of why resale properties are still so attractive to the would-be purchasers. And I also like to touch on the blind side of owning a resale properties. So when you actually buy a resale property, so usually the PSF is at the peak at the point of your purchase. So what do I mean by that? When you purchase the resale properties, whichever current market situation, you actually enter in at one of the highest valuation point as well. Because today, no sellers will sell below market price. That is for sure. And of course, second thing, there is a lesser lease as well. It's not a fresh 99 anymore. So imagine if you buy the quartz in 2022 this period, which is this year. This property is actually around 18 years old already. Yeah, so that means this is a lesser tenure as well. And bear in mind that you probably do not really take wholesale the whole furnishing that the first seller actually pass it on to you. You may have a high chance to spend money to renovate the whole place. And lastly, this is in real estate what we emphasize is that there is probably no first mover advantage. If you were to relook the first few slides that I explained just now, right, the first owners make 700 plus K versus the second owner who bought around 2010, 2012 period and subsequently sold 10 years later. They only make like $250,000. So it's really like 30 or 40% of what the first owners has made. So is making money important in real estate? It really depends on your needs, your certain expectation as well. So this is what I have explored in episode 14, the 3 stages of property ownership. So regardless of your current age, right, there will be one time where we want to retire from the workforce. And where are we at these 3 certain stages of property ownership? Are you in the initial stage, growth stage, or yield stage? And I invite you to revisit episode 14 again to have a better understanding the 3 stages of property ownership. Alright, so with this, I'm going to end my topic here about diagnosing resale properties. This is just one classic example in the OCR town, the quartz condominium, where I see that there are 3 phases of property cycles within this 16 years condominium. And if you have any inquiries or comments, please feel free to drop in my YouTube video, or you can send me an inquiry, and I hope to get in touch with you soon. And I see you in the next episode. Take care. Goodbye.